Yo, what's up guys, when I'm fire here back in the video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys another video in Madden 21. This one we're going to go back to the practice mode videos, just one because I wanted to post a defensive video because we have not posted a defensive video in a hot minute, let alone a practice mode video either. So we're going to be going back to just practice mode again. Gameplays will be for majority of the rest of the year, but because those are majority offensive gameplays, I wanted to show off just a couple of new things defensively for you guys to use, try out, stuff like that. So we're going to be in the multiple defensive playbook. We're going to be running the 5-2 normal formation. 5-2 normal, very good formation, very underrated formation. Good for blitzing, good for heavy run defenses, things like that. So I'm going to be showing you guys a blitz scheme out of this formation, just the unique things that you guys can throw out or use later in the year. Of course, 5-2 linebacker set, so you will be using linebackers, but get some faster guys on the outside, like Griffin right here. Also, Jordan Brooks, I think he's pretty fast. Don't know for sure, though. Of course, you can get some good DBs. You'll be using majority of the time one of these two safeties, of course, depending on the formation, but just get two good safeties. I'll actually move Jamal Adams to free safety since we're going to be using that. Now, the play we're going to run is going to be fire zone 2. You could also run it out of cover 2. Or really any other play, you could also run out of pinch. It does not really make a difference. We're just going to throw in this little zone blitz because the majority of blitzes usually are man blitzes. So fire zone 2 at the bottom. On offense, we'll be running bunch. And I'll just showcase the blitz in a couple of ways that you can actually adjust out of it. Might actually go back into the zone drops a little bit later in the video. So just stay tuned for that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into it. All right, here we are out on the field, and you see right away, you're going to have to align them in a certain way because you want those linebackers compressed inside. So you're going to go ahead, base align. Of course, that will adjust your cornerbacks as well, but it's not that big of a deal. Mainly, you just want to move Bobby Wagner in. Even though it is a compressed set in the gun bunch formation, they're still going to be inside, and against trips specifically, you will have to move them in a lot more, which is why the baseline will come in handy. In a thing like bunch, maybe you can move them inside manually, but there's not really a reason to do that. Just save your time and go with the adjustment. So you're going to go ahead and base align. The next thing that you're going to do is just blitz all linebackers. The next thing you want to do is actually pinch your linebackers. So that's going to be T-pad to the right, down on that left stick. So you're going to blitz all linebackers, pinch linebackers. Now, sometimes this thing happens, which is kind of annoying, where your linebackers will line up in the gap. That's good for certain blitzes, but out of this formation specifically, not really a fan of it. I like to leave them the same way. Now, taking a look at your player, you will have something kind of odd here. And that's going to be the way that this linebacker, KJ Wright, is actually aligned. You see how he's not blitzing straight, he's blitzing to the right. So what you're going to do is just fix that by going ahead and slanting inside with your defensive line. There you see D-pad to the left, down on the right stick, and now it should be fixed. Looks a lot better. Now, something I might like to do out of this would be potentially to pinch my defensive line as well, but the reason you can't do it out of this specific formation is you see I pinched my D-line, and it's actually 5 players as my controller just dies, so we'll be back. Alright, we're back in with some new batteries, but going back to my original point, what I was actually saying, and what I was saying is you see with the defensive line, the main players you want in this blitz are going to be those outside players, Shaquem Griffin, Jordan Brooks. So that's why you can't pinch your defensive line, because when you pinch, all 5 guys go. Pretty unfortunate, but because it's a unique formation, different things will happen, and that is simply just a result of that happening. So you'll leave your defensive line the same. Some people like to spread it, but they just move out a little bit too far. That's going to take away some time from the actual blitz getting home. So that's usually why you just leave it the same, and then you'll actually pinch your linebackers. The last thing that you can actually do is press. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the baseline press look against man coverage. I enjoy it because of the simply base aligning because of Bobby Wagner moving your linebackers in, but the cornerbacks stay positioned a little bit weird. They're good on that solo side receiver, but against bunch specifically, I like this player to be jammed up in the line of scrimmage. You're pressing. You don't want to give him a quick read, quick snap throw, quick anything. So this look should be good. You can just move him in. You'll have time, not too complicated of a blitz setup. And then, of course, you can use your Jamal Adams. So this will be the look, just the base look. Pretty simple there. Again, make sure that you're slanting inside. There you go. You got your right blitz angle, and everything should be set up well. Now, we're not going to adjust any of our zones right now. We'll just show off the blitz first, and I do have my running back blocked for here, so you'll snap the ball, and there you see pretty simple blitz setup. Now, going to go through it again. And sometimes different things happen. I've noticed sometimes when you actually end up slanting inside, the blitz can actually work a little bit worse. So we'll actually test that theory now. I want to see, just without too many adjustments, just baselining, pinching your linebackers, and then obviously just leaving everything else the same. Let's actually try that, because I have seen situations where 2 players get home, but for now, he seems like he's blocking that right-hand guy, and your left-hand guy will come through. But overall, it's just one of the fastest 7-man blitzes. Of course, we're sending 7 people, but because it's compressed, you can do a lot with your adjustments. Really, just the biggest problem seems to be, or I mean, there's not really a problem, but I have seen the blitz work sometimes where actually you can get 2 players free on a 6-man protection while you rush just the 7 people. But you see, another reason I like the blitz is because of the soft squats that are stock, and you see how the soft squat, he's going to take a man coverage approach and actually end up matching onto him unless someone else goes into his zone, which you might be able to take away with your user regardless. So we'll show the setup again. Base the line, pinch your linebackers. Of course, you're going to want to press, blitz all linebackers, and then you can go ahead, move this player inside, and then hop into your other adjustments, which I will talk about after I show the blitz just a couple more times. So here we're going to show the blitz again, and there you see it. Pretty easy. Shaquem Griffin, usually the guy. Of course, you see how, because of the play I'm in, McKissic's in this little weird check and release, so that's the reason that he's picking up on the right-hand guy. But if I just block him, then he's probably going to pick up on Shaquem Griffin, or at least, I mean, I would expect him to. But overall, pretty simple stuff. Make sure you do not contain. This blitz contains. They're going to slow up the blitz. I've noticed that they always slow up the blitzes this year, so contained blitzes usually not good unless for something like a 1-4-6, where they kind of have to be contained in order for the blitz to work. But again, here's a look at your setup. One more time, I'll showcase the blitz, this time with him blocking, and there you see Jordan Brooks, of course, going to be the player. Kind of a weird result, as you notice that the left tackle actually ends up picking up Shaquem Griffin. McKissic picks up KJ Wright, and then still the same result though, as Jordan Brooks is the one who gets pressure, which I anticipated happening. So that's going to be it. Let's hop into some of the adjustments that you can make out of the 7-man rush, and then I'll showcase some of the things that you can do in a bluff blitz scenario. So we'll set up the blitz the same way. That's to be pretty much expected. Again, do everything like this, and there you see it, blitz setup looking good. Again, press. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these 2 zones the same, but what you can actually do is take either a man coverage approach, because sometimes the soft squats can play a little bit weird. So if I want to, I can turn this into a stock man coverage look, something like this. Now, if this is the case, I got to be a little bit careful, and I'll show you what you should do next out of the bluff blitz setup if you're going with the man coverage base. But if they send 5 out, you could be in trouble. But usually if it's like a 5-out situation, I got to look right away at the running back. If the running back's on a route, it's always their first read. I got to take the running back, because I know if the running back's out, we're going to get instant pressure, and that's where he's going to be looking. So let's say the running back's on just a little wheel route. He's going to snap the ball. Oh, the running back's on route. I'm going to go there. And even if I try to throw the tight end, the pressure gets there pretty quickly. And again, in Ultimate Team, in other modes, you can, of course, get faster players there that can get pressure than Griffin, although Griffin should be one of the faster linebackers in the game as far as regs is concerned. But you see, if the running back's out on a route, you got to take that with your user out of this specific formation. And of course, running back's going to be the first read for everybody out of any formation. Split close, trips tight end, Trey Y flex, stuff like that. A slot. The theme is consistent. Even if the tight end's usually, and this is a very specific play, usually is on a thing like that. And even potentially, let's say he's running something like a flood concept. I'll try and set up like a flood look, something like this. If he's setting up something like this, the tight end, if I notice him trying to throw it to the tight end a lot, that would be a situation where the zone blitz would work a little bit better. And we'll just showcase that a little bit right here. So we'll just press, and you see how when I press, these players go to the line of scrimmage. I don't really like that. You could blitz like that. I don't think it really matters, makes a difference. But if they're going with like flood, Z-spot a lot, that is where this setup I would probably go with this cover 2. Although the flat still is a little bit more open, it still should be working pretty consistently and a little bit better, just to cause a little bit of uncertainty and then potentially take away a read. If he's late on that read, it's not going to pick up as many yards regardless. So let's hop into some of the bluff blitz things though. The bluff blitz things, what you can do with them. And out of the bluff blitz, what I like to do is go with a couple of different things. So you can do different things here. The first idea would be, at least for me, to go with just the classic look. I'm going to user him, and then I'm just going to double flat. Now, be careful because, of course, since we've learned that there's 5 defensive linemen, you see we got 5 defensive line adjustments. Very weird. I know it's going to be very weird for some of you to see L1 in a adjustment, but you're going to go ahead and throw X and B in those curl flat zones. And you see the look's the exact same. Now, of course, you're probably going to want to use this inside backer rather than use the safety, but you could do a couple of things. Maybe turn into a cover 3 cloud if you wanted to use that safety. So we'll just go like this. He's going to block 7, maybe whatever he does, but you see the coverage will be good. And, of course, my zone drops are not necessarily set up, so the coverage might not look as good on paper, but with them set up, you go with flats 20, curl flats 5. You'll be in a pretty good spot to defend anything like this. Another thing that you could potentially do out of this is either man up a couple of players, so I could set my flats to around 10 or 15 yards, and then maybe I just go ahead and man up, assuming you have a lot of athletic guys, and I can either man up like the running back, I can man up this guy on the tight end, man up Wagner on RB. Now this scheme is not as effective in my opinion. The reason for that is, of course, you have linebackers on the field. They're not going to be as good in coverage, but that is just a simple idea that I had. You see, you can take away things in the middle of the field, you let your zones take away the outside, and then the man coverage will take away those important players in the running back and the tight end. So those are just a couple of ideas I had. But that's pretty much going to wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you go ahead and smack a like button. Subscribe to the channel as well. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below in the description. And peace. I'm out of here.